Hello, my beautiful star family. Today is March 29th, and I wanted to take just a moment to check in with each and every one of you. There's been so much going on since our lunar eclipse, and our lunar eclipse again happened within the vibration of Libra, within the gate 18 of correction. And I wanted to touch in a little bit because as I've been talking with so many of you, doing sessions with some of you, there is a huge theme coming up of just a lot of the past really coming up to be reviewed. A lot of the things that we felt maybe that we have dealt with before are feeling as though they're kind of resurfacing again. And so, one of the things I just want to invite within this moment is that if you are here being able to join me live, this is very much an impromptu live that I am doing. I'm just turning on the chat so that I can see if you're here with me today. Please go ahead and type in, just say hello within the chat, just so that we can um, connect in this very now moment. The thing that I would like to put out there is that during my introspections and meditations with the guides during this very sacred time, one of the messages that they are really sharing with us is that we have a gift through a responsibility of really utilizing this gift of looking at what are our past karmas, what are our past debts, what are the things that we are holding within our field. Hello, Brandy. So wonderful to see you. And one of the things that's important for us to understand is that a lot of times the things that we are experiencing in this lifetime didn't originate in this lifetime. So sometimes in this life, we might go like, why is this happening to me? Why am I experiencing this? What is this challenge that is going on? And we haven't ever been taught to look bigger, to look at where maybe some of this has happened in other lifetimes, maybe hundreds of lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes, millions of lifetimes ago, that whether or not it happened here on Earth in another constellation, in another form, it doesn't matter. We are the eternal spark, we are the eternal light. So we have the understanding from this perspective to many times look at some of the challenges that we are going through as ways that we are balancing energies within the cosmic fields. And one of the amazing ways to balance these energies is through the transformational fire energy. Fire really is one of the elements that is the most profound for assisting us into clearing a lot of these things. I just wanted to say, hello, Sarah. Oh my gosh, all the way from Ireland. So, so beautiful to have you here. And when we look at the energy of fire, fire is one of the elementals. It's one of the energies of our cosmology that gives us the ability to be in human form. So I'm going to dance around with a few things today because our next solar eclipse coming up, I mean, we can't miss it. It's the biggest buzz on the planet right now. The solar eclipse, the solar eclipse, the solar eclipse, April 8th, the solar eclipse. And we're hearing it from almost every platform in all types of media, everything from NASA, everything from different astrological sites and esoteric sites, and people doing channelings about this energy. And I want to give you just a way to maybe dive into this so that we can come back to the perspective that this is a very personal journey. So no matter what might be building kind of energetically, that all transformation really comes from within. And this fire energy of it is going to recognize a couple of different things. One, that it's going to be happening within the sign of Aries, and not only with of Aries, but within Aries in the gate 51, the gate of initiation. So let's tie these two energies together of the lunar eclipse, which happened in Libra, which wants justice, balance, healthy relationships, co-creativeship, right? Libra has an energy within it that can many times be a shadow energy of codependency because it is learning through relationships. So this is going to be massive because there's a huge group of us that have Pluto in Libra. So it doesn't matter if it's just your sun sign in Libra. There's a huge generation of Pluto and Libra generation that has been working out how to balance karmas through relationships, healthy and unhealthy, right? And learning a correct balance of power within relationships. So this, if you do have Pluto in Libra, it might be again really powerful again to just double check where is your Pluto? What house is your Pluto theme? Where are you balancing and creating a healthy balance of power within relationships? And I say power because everything's about an exchange of energy. And when we think about relationships from the Venusian perspective, because Venus is very much connected to the Libra energy, and Venus plays out a huge theme for us that says, first of all, within the sign of Taurus, how do I get what I need in the physical reality in order to feel safe, secure? So Venus with the vibration of Taurus, which is very much this matches with the vibration of Libra. Taurus's first energy within our chart is about, do I have what I need to feel safe, to feel provided for? Do I have what I need to feel nurtured? So it definitely has very much a Venusian energy of what we need in order to feel as though we've been taken care of. And then once we move through our astrological signs, when Venus pops up again through the sign of Libra, now it's popping up and it's saying, okay, you've already figured out what you need in order to feel safe and provided for, nurtured and taken care of in the physical reality. Now let's explore our relationship with others and see, as we start to connect with others, this Venusian energy is about connecting with others so that others can open us up to the possibilities of things that we can bring into our reality that we may not even know is possible. So a lot of times in relationships, especially Pluto in this Libra energy, is creating relationships with others in order to learn possibilities of what else can we bring? What else is manifesting in our reality? What else can we call in? What have we not even thought of as a possibility? So, again, there is still an energy that Libra wants to connect in this vibration of relationships, right? But the Venusian energy in there is still learning about self. That's why it's the polarity between the first house and the seventh house. Still having an energy of who am I? And then the seventh house, who am I with others? So as we look at this, this was our lunar eclipse that just happened on March 25th in the gate 18, where it was inviting us to look at, where are we overly judging the world? Where do we hold criticism? And this, I'm going to invite you guys, I'll put the link in there. I just recently did a video on the karmic implications of the energy of judgment, criticism, envy. That when we hold judgment of another, it actually throws an imbalance in the karmic laws. And this is how we're passing on karmic debt a lot of times with each other. So I just want to take a pause. Fabrice, oh my gosh, so amazing to have you here. Cheryl, oh, Julie, so wonderful. Harmony, so wonderful to have you guys here. How are you guys doing? Are you guys feeling this massive energy right now? What's coming up for you personally? Because again, this Libra energy was showing us, where are we still judging the world around us or needing things to change in order to feel safe, or that we are being respected within these relationships. I'm just going to kind of place it that way for this time. But here's the amazing thing within this, as we get to look at this, Libra being an air sign connected to the Venusian energy, we're really getting to see this as how are we able to expand through our consciousness into where are we bound by having to have things a certain way, and where can we begin to now open up this relationship to our soul councils, to our beloveds, to the higher evolutionary conscious beings that are stepping in, many times connecting with us telepathically. Where are we still holding on to sometimes the lower vibrational energies of habits, addictions, and the things that seem to keep holding us back from being our highest realized self within this lifetime? I want to tie this in because this is going to be key. A lot of these karmas, debts, and negative thoughts, judgments, envies, criticisms, and vibrations that we're holding are actually coming from archons, archon energy, or energies that are really emanating into our thoughts and projecting into our consciousness from spirits, entities, attachments, or lower astral beings. Okay, so we may not even realize it, but a lot of our energetic field is co-inhabited by a lot of these attachments in our field. So think about this now from this Libra energy. We might be holding a lot of criticism to the world around us, but probably 90% of the criticism that you hold is not even yours. Like gate 18, what needs to be better? What needs to be fixed? The shadow energy of it probably is coming from a lot of shadow or entity attachments. So now we can see, oh my gosh, we're not just in relationship with other people in the world around us. We're literally in relationship to many multidimensional and interdimensional beings. And this is our time to start to recognize, where have we been overrun by these energies? Where are they actually kind of like narcissistic partners or beings in our life overriding us, pushing us, creating these vibrations in our mind that keep us in lower vibrations of unworthiness, doubt, insecurity, unlovability? All of these things, many times again, are coming from these co-inhabitants in our own energy fields that we don't recognize are there because we've never been taught about them. But now here we get to look at this energy. What is this energy that's playing out in our life? And how can we begin to utilize this massive eclipse energy to unplug from all the media and all the ways that it's really being projected as this massive chaos? And where can you come inwards and now create a relationship with the vibration of fire to begin to help you to work with this, to purge it out? So I want to share with you guys a couple of tools, a couple of things that I'm going to share. There's another energy that's happening today that's really, really powerful. It's also happening in a fire sign, in the sign of Sagittarius, at about almost 9 degrees, but it's 8 degrees and 38, I think, minutes. I'm going to share this, and that is Pallas Athena. So I actually wanted to pull this book, if you have it or not. Demetra George and Douglas Block have done this beautiful book called Asteroid Goddesses. They go into really beautiful detail into the major asteroids within the chart. So I wanted to touch on Pallas Athena because this is in the sign of Sagittarius right now. So it's currently in the sign of Sagittarius. So you want to look at where is about 8 degrees within 8 to 9 degrees within your own astrological wheel, because this is where this is going to be playing out right now. Pallas Athena is really an energy that's about wisdom. It is not just a warrior energy, but this is more about wisdom energy. Where do we bring advanced knowing into the field? Where do we want to know more? And when we look at it in the fire sign of Sagittarius, Pallas Athena in Sagittarius implies conceptual perception. One is able to see in terms of the broad scale vision, like maybe multiple lifetimes and understanding karmas based on multiple lifetimes. The big picture, as a healer, this is the expression as mental healing, using the power of clear imagery of a perfect whole body to resonate change and attunement. Sagittarius's connection to religion can indicate the shaman or the guru who heals through spiritual knowledge. So, as we continue with this, it really talks about that the wisdom of Pallas in Sagittarius is the wisdom of unification, forging the cohesive links of the parts to form the whole. So, now you want to kind of recognize, what house is this in for you? And one of the amazing things, and the reason why I want to bring this up, is that today, March 29th, Pallas Athena is actually going retrograde. And I'm actually going to share some screens so I can show some of this to you. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to also show this fire for you, but I want to show this. This is coming from the website Cafe Astrology. They have an ephemeris there that you can look at a lot of the different asteroids in there. And this is for March. And if you look at March, you're going to see right down here, it's at 8. It was at climbing up 835, 836, 836. And here we go from the date of the 30th. So depending again where you are, 29th, 30th, 31st, it goes from 36. It's now stalling. It's starting to go into retrograde 36. And then you're going to see it's going to start to go 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. So that's how you can kind of tell retrogrades in there. When we look at a lot of these, I wish there was like an easier way to find some of this, but I wanted to just point this energy out for you. The primary reason why I wanted to show this vibration, and I'm going to have to show this to you from my personal astrological wheel because it was the only way I could bring it up on AstroSeek. So you get to see where transits are happening for me personally right now. But we get to see that for me personally, you would see that I have Sagittarius. I am a Sagittarius rising. So this is a big deal. And this is going to be very close, not only to the ascendant in there, but in the first house. So let's look at the energy of Pallas Athena for each of you. If you were to look at where is wisdom, where are you actually getting this amazing energy to go inward into this vibration of wisdom? So Pallas Athena within each of the houses is going to suggest where you are going to be expressing this. So if it's the first house, it's going to be strong personal identification with intelligence, power, and or creativity. The second house is going to point to strong practical senses of creative skill in acquiring resources and can manifest an abundance of material possessions or valuables through one's life. So this is going to really attune to Earth Mother, the cosmic energy of the material realm. The third house, I just want to go through these really quickly for you guys, is an indicator of the strong intuitive abilities. Remember, it's Mercury, the mind. So one can create with words and communication and revolutionize educational techniques. In the fourth house, it's going to represent highly psychic or empathetic energy. So it's going to heighten that lunar, that sensitive, that subconscious, and that ability to move deeper into intuition. The fifth house is going to take you deeper in to creativity, to arts. It's going to maybe even expand sexual energies, kundalini energies within you. So it's going to be about really feeling that heightened creative energy. Sixth house is going to be about the wisdom of perfecting systems, perfecting the way things work out within the world. So it's also going to have just a lot to do with the job, creativity, work. How are you manifesting through your form in this lifetime? The seventh house is going to bring amazing wisdoms through counseling, mediating, communicating with others, and helping to harmonize others' processes through relationships. So it could be for yourself, but it's also very much an intuitive energy for helping others process, helping counsel their relationships. Eighth house is going to be kind of like the fourth house in the sense of intuitive energies, but boom, eighth house, psychic, intuitive energies, really kind of even an oracular intelligence, creative skills, really knowing how to intuitively work with others' energies, because that's a lot of the eighth house. So it's a lot of transformation. Ninth house, if you're Sagittarius, at that 8 degrees is in the ninth house. This is going to be an individual's creative thought through philosophical, political, the bigger kind of aspect of humanity working together. Where do you find wisdom in how to bring more moving parts together? The 10th house is going to be really about the wisdom of recognition. So if you have Sagittarius in your 10th house or as you're rising, this might be a really powerful time for what are you launching? Where are you, do you maybe have a program or something that you are being guided by your council, your spirit team to get a message out there, to be seen, to be recognized in this world? This might be a really powerful time for you to work with that energy. In the 11th house, this is going to be about new social vision. So working with the group format, new concepts of societal organizations and creative ideas. You can see that Pallas Athena is wisdom, but also massive creativity. An energy within where there's a level of divine maturity to bring wisdom through a creative format in order to facilitate moving things forward in harmonious ways. So the 11th house it's going to fit right in within there as a vibrational energy of really how to assist humanity. And then the 12th house for this Pallas Athena, if you have Sagittarius in your 12th house or where this is falling, it's going to indicate intelligence linked to collective unconscious. This is powerful. If you have this within here, this might be a really beautiful way to work with what are the morphogenetic fields and the templates within humanity's consciousness that is still holding a lot of the karmic patterns of our ancestors. And what is the wisdom that can come forward? What are the creative ways to begin to unlock those patterns? Patterns of limitation, hesitation, lack of any of these things, any places where, again, we've also been bound to these archons. The 12th house is a beautiful place to actually catch these archons in action. And let's dive into some practical ways to work with this energy, because this is the huge thing that we can be working with right now and why I wanted to do this video today. So with Pallas Athena in retrograde, this is massive because what else is going into retrograde in a couple of days is Mercury. Okay, Mercury, mind, downloads. What is this asking of us? We're in this eclipse season where a lot of us are going into review, into retrospection, or working with a lot of the karma and debt that is within. And I want to share a couple of techniques. Let me just kind of tap in here. Hello from Paris. Oh, hello, Valerie, Cheryl, Kimberly. So amazing to have you here. I love it. We got Ireland and Tokyo and Paris. I love this. We have all of these amazing energies all across the US and the Marquise. So beautiful to see all of you here. This is, let me dive in now to working with this sacred fire ritual. The gate 51 that the solar eclipse is going to happen in is all about initiation. If you have the gate 51 anywhere significantly in your chart, this is going to be massive. If you are a Libra with a sun sign in the gate 57, this is going to be your absolute polarity. This is like huge for you. For those of you that are sun gate 57 at all in the first place, or sun gate 51, Aries, You are here for a massive, massive spiritualized awakening. So I'm going to invite you guys to pay attention a little bit more, maybe what's going on through you, because I'm going to invite you to be a pillar of light for all the rest of us. In a way, you're kind of like that torch and that light that really gets to light up, because this is your entire life mission. And this is the gate of initiation, that whatever we get bound to within the material realm, whatever we start to believe as real that is not real, take us into limitation. And whenever we get in that limitation, the gate 51 comes in and blows it up, pulls the rug out from under our feet, destroys whatever we are clinging to that is keeping us from our spiritualized path, in order for us to have this spiritualized awakening within that says, ah, but this is what truly matters. Connecting to what's in the heart is what truly matters. The gate 51 individuals, that if you have it anywhere in your chart, you know what this is, because you've probably been through massive trials and tribulations in this life. And every single time, they did not destroy you. They might have knocked you down. They might have really hurt. They might still have lingering pain within there, but they all really brought you more closely connected to a spiritualized understanding of what's truly important on a soul-based level. That's what this solar eclipse is happening in. If there's like a huge that's happening on the planet right now, this is what it is. And why is there so much distraction? Why is there so many things that are happening on the planet that want to keep us from this? Is because literally this vibrational energy of the solar eclipse has the ability to be just a massive veil clearer, something that can just literally dissolve the veils of so many that are just at that crack, ready to break through into awakening. 51 is shaking us to the core of, why did we come here? We didn't come here to play human. We didn't come here to play small. We didn't come here to try to fit in with all of the other little silly laws and rules of this reality and this earth plane that was created by these archons, the rules and the ways that the archons have locked things into place. The negative Orion factions, the negative Anunnaki factions, who've tried to keep us asleep, that just says, go to work, put your head down, do your job, create a family, retire, go on vacation a couple times, and then that's it. No, we came here to bring divine law, universal law, back to this earth plane so that it can operate within a harmonious relationship again with the rest of the cosmos, with our multidimensional families. And that's, I think, the relationship of this Aries Libra, first house, seventh house. Where are we starting to break away from these unhealthy relationships and beliefs on this planet? Where's the gate 51 going to initiate us in our consciousness to remembering our stellar families and how we can actually work in harmony again through the multidimensional planes and the inner earth interdimensional planes, right? So with this, fire is one of the transformational energies, and I'm going to actually share a screen again. And this time I want to share one of a ceremony that I did recently. And this particular, I'm not going to have the sound on it, but I wanted to just kind of share the visual of this energy here for you. Because what I'm going to invite you to do, whether or not it's just a votive candle, or if you have the ability to go out and create a fire, I'm going to invite you to do this on a regular basis all the way up into this solar eclipse. Here's the invitation. I'm going to give you an invitation of how to work with this energy. That when you create the energy, that you want to first create a sacred connection to the elementals, to the guardians, to your spirit team or council. And then you build this fire. Sorry, the camera was all over the place as I was trying to show a few things there. I was actually showing in here, I don't have the sound on, but I was showing in there that when I create the fire, there is a prayer that goes forward. And that is the prayer of surrender, to become one with the element of fire. And that when we become one with the element of fire, it becomes our teacher in this process, because fire is the energy of transformation, transmutation, that it allows us to bring forth the energy of burning whatever karmic energies have been within our field. So the very first step is creating this prayer and this connection. And then you want to then connect to whether it's your higher self, whether it's a particular deity, whether it's a particular energy, a being that you really are connecting with as a guide to work with you at this time. Uh, that you can imagine that that vibrational connection to this being is going to help you anchor in this space, right? So I'm just going to hold that image there for a minute. Now within this place, there is then the energy of giving offerings. So I did show in here, there's different things I added as offering to this fire, such as sacred herbs, sages, incense. I lit incense all around the outer edge, because in the spirit realm, the spirits don't sense things the way that we do. They actually sense through smell. So when you create beautiful smells around your sacred ceremonies, it actually is a very beautiful way to give honor to many of the elementals and the etheric beings and the spirits of the land. Now, within this, I did have on there, and I showed a little jar within there, that I actually also get the sacred herb of marijuana. Now, I don't personally take it or utilize it for myself, but it's something that the guides have guided me to do as some of one of the sacred plants to give to the fire. So I actually buy it just to take it and sprinkle it on top. So again, it's everything from Palo Santo to sweet sage, to sweetgrass, sorry, to sages, to different sacred tobaccos, and even marijuana, and all of these different things. I place all of these as these sacred sacraments to the fire in order to create this beautiful ritual. Now, from the sacred space of this ritual, then it begins to open up the space for the next vibration. I'll actually show this image in here really quick. And that within this to die down, I want to share this process of what is called the burning of the karmas. And as we burn these karmas within there, there is a sense of releasing all of these energies out of the cosmic field. So let me actually change to a different screen right now. And I want to share with you guys a process. Whatever's coming up for you, I'm going to invite you to imagine, where have you been holding any of that criticism, judgment, any of these lower vibrations, any places that you have habits, addictions, things that you feel stuck or bind to that you can't quite break free from. Now, this process, I'm just going to give it to you here as an example on this Word document, and that is to write it out. You would actually want to do it more with paper and a pencil if you can, but I'm going to show it to you this way just so that I can visually show it to you. One of the ways to do it is that you can write from left to right if you want. That is fine. But another powerful technique is to actually write out all that you want to clear. You would write it out from right to left. And you would start at the bottom of the page and write right to left, and then start to move up within this process. Okay. So within this is basically undoing and reversing whatever is in your field. So again, you would start in here and you would say anything from like all pain, suffering, etc. And then you would just keep writing all that you want to surrender, to to burn to the fire, to let go to the fire. It's really hard for me to write on the picture, on the computer with my finger. Now, the other way that you could really do this is you could literally write the words backwards. So you could say, write the word this, but you would write it like this. This is the, way to write, and then you would just keep going backwards. Oops. So super, super sloppy. I'm so sorry. Oh, so I'm going to go ahead and just stop this share. But what I wanted to share with you with that is to utilize the sacred paper, utilize the way in which you can begin to pull from inside of your deep subconscious any of the ways that you've been holding any energy. If you've done the Legacy of the Soul course, this is actually one of the key processes for clearing stuff up with other individuals. Now, let's take it to the next level. It's important to understand that a lot of the things that we've been holding within us that we have many times turned on ourselves is like, oh, that's such my bad habit. Oh, I don't know why I'm stuck like that. Why am I doing this? I want you to now start to ask, who does it belong to and where did you inherit it? Because a lot of times it comes from spirit or entity attachments that were either attached to others around us, others that you might have had thoughts about, or projections from these archons, astral beings, or entities that have literally attached to us through our traumas and wounds and maybe been stuck to us, who knows, since the time in the womb, since you were 1 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old. There's a lot of entity attachments that we have that have literally been attached to us for so long that we don't know who we are without them. So it's really a gift to look at any places that you might have addictions or limiting thoughts, or where you might feel disassociated or lethargic. I'm going to put this perspective to you. If you are someone that understands, say, maybe from the perspective of our limbic system, if you've ever gone through, say, unhealthy childhood bonding, didn't find a safe way to process traumas or fears or situations in this life, you might be programmed to deal with things through fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Again, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn is either going to be to react right away and try to challenge what's against you. Flight might be just to full avoidance. I don't want to deal with anything. Stay busy, look busy. This way you're not in the middle of any of it. Freeze, this one's the most detrimental because freeze generally freezes us in un uh in states of mind where we haven't grown up. So it kind of a lot of times keeps us stuck or frozen in time, almost like an innocent mind, a child mind, afraid to deal with the world because it feels scary or out there. We don't know how to process a lot of the things. And so the freeze process alone is kind of the couch potato thing. It's like, oh, well, I'll shut myself away. It's the disassociation. It's not dealing with the world, like you're living in a fishbowl. And then there's the fawn, and that is being the pleaser, being the one that really wants to get on the side of whatever the challenge is in order to calm it down and make it all better and make it all happy. If we're corresponding to life through any of these, and this is a huge theme for so many star seeds, there is so much empathy within the heart, and generally we weren't all born into a family that knew how to assist us through these super sensitive energies. And so we may have adopted a combination of these 4 different techniques. Any of these techniques become doorways for entity and spirit attachments that would have gravitated to you because your little light was so bright as a child. So now when we look at this, we want to recognize that it's our own limiting traumas and beliefs, or where we didn't find healthy ways to process energies where a lot of these things are, or karmas are stuck to us. So when you start to write them out, you're going to write them out in the perspective not only of what the words are that feel stuck within your psyche, but also the ways in which you are now recognizing the bigger picture of where you allowed that energy into your life and where you are now complete with it. And you are going to just let your time with the fire just speak, 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 speak all of it out, burn all of it out. You want to let the fire take all of it, burn it, transmute it, open up your entire field with the protection and guidance again of your guardian team to now start to witness. Use Pallas Athena's wisdom to retrograde into you that says, show me when I overeat, or when I check out and I just want to go just sit on the couch and watch TV, or when there's people arguing and I just feel like I blank out or I need to run away and I don't know how to speak my voice and say what I need to say. Who is that entity attached to me that is literally keeping this energy going in my life? And we want to start to now recognize, almost like safe transit portal, that all of these entities and spirits, you're literally going to be utilizing the force and the energy of the fire to begin to purge, clear, burn out, dissolve, and delete, to cancel all contracts and agreements with any karmic lifetimes that you've ever had these bindings that allow them easily back into your lifetime. And you want to just use the fire through your own creativity to burn, burn, burn contracts, seals, agreements, implants, any holographic technologies, any mind slides, mind thoughts, anything that is embedded into your field that has literally been basically blanketing you and crowding you into the life and the dream that you've been living, that has not allowed you to fully break free, that gate 51 initiation, break free into being your highest realized self. And so the invitation that I have is that when you first start the fire, connect to the guardians, connect to your higher self, connect to whatever deity or whatever representation that you are connecting to help you realize your highest realized self within yourself. What does that feel like? Step into it, be it. From that perspective, you begin to sense and feel everything that's been blanketing your subconscious, your deep subconscious, your emotions, all the things that have been embedded within all the different layers of your light body. And now you start to just let the fire burn it away. Speak it through the power of your tongue. Write it on paper to burn it out. Write it on paper, read it out, then burn it. The whole idea is that you want to burn, burn, burn all of these things. Use this time up until the solar eclipse to just sit and just go through a massive purging. Imagine that you have your entire life is like a bunch of journals of all your sad stories, and you're utilizing this time to literally take all of your journals and burn all of that and just say, that's not me any longer. I step into being my highest realized self. At the end of the ceremony, there is really a beautiful way to begin to just give gratitude and thanks to all the energy, to say thank you to all the guardians that help to hold your fire, and to basically in a way acknowledge that they're going to move on and go do whatever else that they're going to do, that you're just saying thank you for being here and holding this space. Once the fire cools down, maybe the next day or whenever is safe and appropriate, the ashes are sacred. The ashes now hold a very powerful energy. If there is a sacred tree in your yard or on the land or something, you want to take the ashes now and go and give them as offering to whatever calls to you. I don't want to like pinpoint to what to give it to, but you can go and give it to whether it's trees, whether it's sacred rocks around your property, wherever you give it. The giving is really like giving a blessing to the nature kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and from some of the perspectives, it's to understand that there are spirits, whether it's spirits, beings, devas, different elemental beings. A lot of times they actually like to live in the energy of a tree or the energy of a particular rock or the energy of something else that's pretty prominent out in nature. And that's why sometimes when we go for walks, we feel like, "Ooh, we're so alive," because we really feel the aliveness. Well, there's actually a lot of times it's the tree, but a lot of times the tree also has spirits living in it. And so you can take these ashes as blessings to also bring joy, happiness, prosperity, abundance, and just a sense of connectedness to all the spirits of the land that are also all around, so that we can start to acknowledge that we're not living here on earth alone. So that was just a little bit of a thought that I wanted to share with you guys, that at this sacred time, there is a massive awakening of energy that's happening. A lot of it's just our own ugh, gunk inside. Our deep subconscious recesses are opening up. Mercury retrograde, Pallas Athena retrograde at this time. Wow. So powerful, so special. Also, knowing the North Node's going to be in the sign of Aries at this time. This is such a neat time for us to really step into initiation, step into the fire. When you step into the fire, you really become one. You become one with the element of fire, which literally means that anything that doesn't belong to you is the only thing that will burn away, so that you become the purified one. You become your highest realized self. The last thing I will say about this is that this is really important for us to recognize about the archons. The archons have been manipulating humanity and our consciousness for millions of years. It's time for us to stop being codependent on them. It's time for us to stop being in this unhealthy relationship with them. It's time for us to start making them responsible for what they have placed into motion within creation. It's time for us to give the energy of the distorted laws, rituals, ceremonies, thoughts, judgments back to many of these interdimensional beings, like the negative, self-serving Orion men, the Anunnaki forces that have come in, the Archon energies that have come in. When we start to recognize that we have been literally, willingly, like insecure little beings. Just think of a movie or a situation where you have seen a tyrant belittling someone, putting them down, telling them that they're worthless, telling them that they're nothing, you'll never amount to anything. And that person literally becomes so beat down that they start to believe it. And they literally let this tyrant keep abusing them, taking the power, taking all the credit. That's what we've been going through. These archons and these multidimensional beings that are of self-serving purposes have literally been these tyrants that have been belittling us through our consciousness to where we feel weak and to step up to a lot of these things. And it's time for us to now recognize that every time we agreed to be small, we also agreed to take on the transference of their debt and karma that they were incurring, and we've been holding the burden. And it's our gift right now to recognize that burden doesn't belong to us, and that it's our job to be the ones to balance Libra karmic law. And through the lords of karma and through the spiritual courts, we get to stand up and say, oh my gosh, I agreed to it. And I'm not going to agree to it any longer. And I am now going to take everything I've been holding through the sacred fire, and I'm going to, through my free will, give it back Give it back to the Orion forces, give it back to the Anunnakis, give it back to the Archons, give it back to the entities, the lower astral beings, give it back to all the self-serving beings that have been misusing karmic law by transferring their karma and debt into innocent beings. And when we begin to say, I am giving it back, we are actually now balancing karmic law, where we're going to now say it's their time to be responsible for whatever they incurred in the misbalances of this divine creation. And that's the gift of this. You don't have to hold it anymore. And part of that is finding all the places that we haven't had the courage to speak up or be our voice against the tyrants in our life. And now is the time to say enough is enough. Speak it into the fire, burn it out, be one with your higher self, and start to be your highest realized potential. You guys, this was so impromptu. I just felt moved. They were like, we need to connect. I wanted to just say thank you again to Julie, to Goddess Essence, to Laura. So wonderful to have you here. All of you. Gate 51 is my south node. Oh, sweetheart, this is massive for you. Oh my gosh, this is super special. A lot of times when we have energy that powerful on the south node, or when we're having the our opposition nodal return, which means that the transiting north node, say, is sitting on your south node. This is actually a time, one, where we're getting to really have a review of anything that we're holding, but two, what the guides have said is that any of these kinds of influences on the nodes means that you also now have an opening into your Akashic library to start to remember what are the many wisdoms, memories, or gifts and capabilities that you learned or worked with in other lifetimes. And it's like a doorway or a window. A lot of times we look at South Node as the karma of the past, but we forget that there was a lot of beauty. There was a lot of gifts. There was a lot of capabilities that we also manifested, learned, and practiced in other lifetimes. And so it's a window to actually step into some of those probably powerful initiation practices. I might put that out there to you, Goddess Energy. I've been doing this a lot lately. Oh, perfect, perfect. Gonna burn paper in the kitchen sink. Oh, please be careful. Don't set off fire alarms, please. Definitely, at least the kitchen sink will have water present, maybe open a lot of windows within there. If you don't have the ability to use fire, recognize that the tongue is a representation of the element of fire. So just speaking what you need to speak out loud, maybe to a votive candle, is also going to be very powerful. And then maybe if you did write it on paper, you can put that paper through a paper shredder, and then go put it, bury it in the earth, or do something with it, get it out of your property. So my guardians would not like me talking that. Oh, I love that. I'm sure something definitely coming through. So with so much love, I just want to say so much love to all of you. I'm reading your posts right now, and there's so many amazing comments and messages on here. I love you so much. Goddess Energy is saying, I've been exactly feeling all of that. Thank you so much. Becca, major initiation energy connecting to the center and to mother. Oh, yes, the mother energy right now. Isn't that incredible? So I'm here now, and I have weaved through time. Beth, love you, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love, you guys. I know we will connect again beforehand. I just wanted to have this special moment with each and every one of you. So with so much love, thank you. Please be with that fire energy. The gate 51, we have this. I love you.